Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another video. I haven't gotten any new Black Panther wave figures or any of the Kingpin wave figures. I'm hoping to get some soon. I have the Civil War reissue Black Panther that'll be showing up this week. But tomorrow afternoon or Monday afternoon, evening, I'll be heading down to Southern California to go to Disneyland. I'm hoping to find some Kingpin wave figures down there while I'm there, because that's where they've been found in Target. A few up here, but I just haven't had any luck. So in the meantime, I had picked up this figure shortly after Christmas, and it's just kind of been sitting around, and I'm going to open it up and put it in my display, because as far as we know, we are not going to get a Marvel Legends release for the War Machine Mark IV. So I got this one to kind of fill into the display just so we have the character. So I'm going to open it up. We'll take a look at the figure. It's a basic figure. It's the what do they call it? The Hero Vision figures. So super limited in articulation and everything, smaller size, but it still looks pretty cool in my opinion. So I'm going to open it up. We'll take a look at some size comparison with some other Infinity War characters. We'll see how he measures up with like Iron Man, and we know it's not. And then the only other Hero Vision figure that I do have is the Iron Spider, so I'm going to actually compare it to that one as well. But really cool packaging. You see here we have a picture of the concept art of War Machine. We have Thanos up at the top, Avengers Infinity War. It says Marvel's War Machine there in the front. The back of the package, you see we have the whole gimmick thing with some big cannon and, you know, Infinity Gauntlet thing on there. And then just a bunch of wording and stuff. There's no other bio. Pretty cool. This is the budget line or the kids collecting line or just toys or whatever. But it looks semi-decent. So let's get this open and take a look. Okay, and here is the Hero Vision War Machine figure out of the package. And I must say, the sculpt of it is pretty good. However, it is very, very small. So you can see here next to the Iron Man Mark 50 from the Marvel Studios first 10-year 3-pack that has the light-up arc reactor feature. You can see he's a lot taller by about maybe half an inch. So that's you can already see it's too tiny. So no way it's believable that there's a person inside of this suit when you have other figures that look like this. So there's from Infinity War. And then we have the Hero Vision Iron Spider figure, and you can see this figure is actually bigger than the War Machine figure. So we know right away that that's way wrong. That's way crazy. But this figure is bigger than the Legends figure, so this one was already completely out of whack and out of scale, even compared to this one. So this one may scale well with the other figures, but the Iron Spider figure, for whatever reason, is just too big to begin with. So that's, you know, kind of an issue there. So we'll kind of push him off to the side. Now the accessories that he comes with a little gimmicky time stone kind of thing that I've dropped now for the second time. It just kind of sits onto this cannon. There's a little notch right there, and I'll zoom in a little bit later to look at this. And then he can hold this, and then he also has this shoulder cannon that kind of fits on like so, which is kind of weird actually. But then you can also, I guess, port it in the back. You can put it on his arm, kind of put it on the other arm. Yeah, that's a little weird. In the package, that it actually shows it, I guess, sitting on his back like so. Ports there, but the sculpt of it looks pretty good. Let's get some close-up looks at it. Okay, so the color of this thing is a little bit different. So in the movie, he looks like, you know, it's either a black or a very dark gray. Where the figure, I would say, is like a slate color, which is like a gray with a greenish hue to it, or bluish. But it's not, it's, I mean, it's gray, but it looks a little bluish to me. And then there's some silver paint on it throughout, like the torso pieces, his face, the helmet. And then it comes up, there's silver there over the gray, silver there. So some decent paint to it. Then there's a little bit of red, the arc reactor spot, a couple of spots there on the chest, on the side torso, a little bit there, a little bit here as well. And then on the legs, there's a spot there and right there. And then there's actually some paint on the back of the figure. They actually put some silver there on the legs, and on the back of the arms there's some silver there. As far as articulation, it's just the legs can go up, can go down. The shoulder actually has a ball joint, so you can get a full rotation. You can actually get the shoulder all the way out, so that's actually pretty surprising. And then he has a single jointed elbow, which gives you that much. From there to there. But again, we know that these figures, we should not expect a whole lot based on this line. But looking at the sculpt looks pretty good. But it's also easier to get a good sculpt when you have limited articulation. But there is some good sculpt to it that I really like. And then looking at the cannon, this is kind of the shoulder cannon that War Machine's really known for. It's just done in that slate gray color. And I wish, I guess you could, there's a port there, so you could just port it in and it can have it like that, which is a little bit different from what we would normally have. Usually he would be kind of like this, but since he can't do that, that's the best we could do. And then for storage, you can place it on his back there, and that actually works out pretty good. The cannon looks pretty good. It's pretty large. He didn't actually have anything like this in the movie, so this is really the main gimmicky thing for this figure, because he doesn't use this. So there's actually two different colors on here. There's that slate gray, but a lighter tone to it. And then this handle portion is actually the same color of War Machine. And he can fit this in his hand. You just kind of have to work it. The plastic's a little bit harder on these guys compared to like the Legends figures. So you kind of have to work that, and he can hold the cannon like so. In fact, on the back of the package, it shows him like this. And you can hold it like that, and that's pretty cool looking, I guess. I'm not going to have this cannon in my display. I will display him like this, and I do think that looks pretty good. So, pretty cool. Now what we're going to do is actually compare him to some older War Machine figures. Alright, so let's first look at this War Machine Mark IV compared to War Machine Mark I from Iron Man 2. Now this is an old movie figure. This was released, I think there was two different releases. There was a Walmart exclusive and then a regular release. I'm not sure exactly which one this is anymore. And I don't know if there was really any difference between the two, but these ones, those older movie figures, were a smaller scale, so they don't really look good compared to other Marvel Legends, but this one was a must-have because there was a lot more sculpt detail onto this figure compared to some of the other figures, and it came with a lot of accessories and different things. So there he is next to the Mark I, and you can see that these things are almost the same size. This guy's a little bit taller, so you can already see that that one's, definitely a lot smaller compared to the other ones. Now, I didn't pull out the Iron Patriot figure since he technically went by a different name with that particular armor, but here we have the War Machine Mark II, which was the same suit, just painted with the black and gray and silver instead of the red, white, and blue. This was from the Hulkbuster wave of Avengers Age of Ultron. You could see that this guy's a lot taller. Oops. Doesn't want to stand as easily either. He's a lot taller, so it makes more sense, and he scales well with the other figures because they went to making them larger to scale well with other figures, and why I can't get him to stand, I don't know. Standing in my display just fine. And now let's compare him to the War Machine Mark III. Now this is the one from the Civil War 2-pack that came with, well, it came out for Civil War, but it was it came with the Disco Iron Man armor, which was Mark 27, I believe, the Target exclusive. Now this figure is a lot bulkier and the biggest out of the rest. He's a little bit taller than this one, but he's just a lot bulkier. The suit is a lot bigger compared. Now we have like this piece that's over, and I'm not sure exactly what that under torso is. I never took it apart. But this one is my favorite War Machine figure just because it's so bulky. Came with a bunch of accessories. Really cool. I really like the way this one looked. It's too bad we don't get a Mark IV for Avengers Infinity War. That would have really set it off and really complete the War Machine collection. So hopefully, maybe one day, if there's another 10th anniversary line or whatever they may call it, a premium MCU line, who knows? Or maybe Hasbro is gonna surprise us and have a War Machine figure. Who knows? Maybe we'll see one at Toy Fair. I'm not gonna hold my breath, but you never know. But decent stand-in for the display anyway. So there they are, all the War Machine figures. If you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up if you guys liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.